All right. How is everybody doing today? Peter Vekselman here. We're going to get started here just a short little while. Glad you guys are here. It's Saturday night. This is actually the first time ever we are doing one of these calls on a Saturday night. Hope you guys enjoy it. I promise you I got some good stuff. We're going to talk about speed to lead. We're going to talk about the difference between getting a deal done and not getting a deal done, right? Have you ever been at that point where like, why am I not closing more? Why am I not doing more? Well, today we're going to talk about that. Today, I'm going to give you some very actionable things that you could be doing to closing more deals is the bottom line. But like I said, this is our first time we're doing these calls on a Wednesday night. From now on, this is going to be the time. We will no longer do them Wednesday at 2 or whenever we used to do them. From now on, it's going to be Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern. So mark that on your calendar. We're going to be talking about here. I'm going to get started here in just a minute. We're going to talk about speed to lead. And I can tell you, if you are serious about this business, if you're serious about doing deals, making money, if you don't understand speed to lead, or if you're not implementing speed to lead, or you're not even sure what I'm talking about when it comes to speed to lead, this is going to be very, very, very relevant. Because speed to lead is really the difference between getting deals done and not getting deals done, making money and not making money. So anyway, hope everyone's doing good. Let me see. I see some familiar faces. How you doing, Gus? I'm shocked you show up at everything. Are we doing deals yet?
I kind of reached out to you, but I sent you a text message, but I didn't get back from you. Maybe I sent it to the wrong number.
Yeah. Are you ready to start doing some deals?
Indeed.
All right. Kristen, can you please get Gus a schedule a call? She's going to get you a scheduled call link for us, okay?
Yeah, that's probably best. Yeah.
Kristen, if you could do that, get Gus to schedule a call link. That way we'll get some things going, because you are a familiar face to me now. You are a friend that we need to be doing some stuff with. So there's this book a call link in chat. Hit that. That way we could connect, talk about how we could partner up and do some deals together. All right, guys. My name is Peter Vekselman. For those of you that don't know me, we're going to get started here in just a minute or so. I appreciate you guys being on our kind of inaugural call for this day and time. But those of you that do tend to like to tap into this, make sure that you book from now on every Wednesday at 6 p.m. And we're going to be talking about real estate. I mean, that's really the bottom line. I assume that's why everybody's here. That's the one thing we all have in common. So every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern, we're going to talk about real estate. I'm going to do a little bit of teaching, and then we're going to get into some Q&A, and then I'm going to give you guys an opportunity. If you're interested, connect with me directly, talk about real estate from a standpoint of doing some deals together. That's what I do. I'm a deal person. You know, people say, well, what do you do? Well, I'm a real estate investor, and I do deals, and I'm always on the lookout for people that want to do deals and they want to partner with me. My model is that's what I do. I partner with people, and we'll get into that in just a second. All right, well, let's go ahead and get rolling. Again, I appreciate you guys being here in our inaugural call for each Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern. We're going to start having these. Again, for those of you that may not know me, my name is Peter Vekselman. I am a real estate investor, 23 plus years in this business. I've done over 3,500 deals, and that may be impressive to some, may not be impressive to some of you. But what is unique about me, and I think why people do get a lot of interest in me as far as being an investor, is how I do my deals, okay? But 100% of all the deals I and my team do, we do them with partners. We partner with people across the United States. And so for those of you that stay on till we're done, I'm going to give you a chance to connect with me directly and discuss how we could possibly partner on some deals. But if we're partnering, I'm providing all the money, I'm providing the marketing systems, I'm providing the rehab teams. You're helping us find deals, and then we do a profit share on the back end. So for those of you that stay until we're done today, we'll put a link up and give you a chance to connect with myself and my team directly. And we'll talk about how we could possibly partner up and do some deals together. What I want to talk to you guys for a little bit today is a very important concept. There's certain things in real estate that I don't know if they're negotiable, but you don't have to be amazing at them. I mean, look, bottom line is there's nothing you want to be bad at real estate on purpose, but there are some things that on purpose you want to be really, 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 really good at. Like, for instance, for those of you that have seen me teach negotiations, that's a big piece. You know, negotiations is a game changer in real estate. It's by far the most impactful thing you could do in terms of making more money in real estate. Today, we're not going to talk about negotiations, but we are going to talk about one of those absolutely critical things that you have to understand about real estate, and you have to do in real estate. As a matter of fact, if you don't do what I'm about ready to teach you in real estate, you may, and this is going to sound maybe extreme, but it's true, you may never do a real estate deal. You know, real estate is one of those things that, you know, a couple inches this way, couple inches this way is literally the difference between doing and not doing deals, making money and not making money, or not making money and actually losing money. So real estate is a game of inches, is what I tell people. But today we're going to talk about the concept of speed to lead. The concept of speed to lead. And that's a very, very important concept. And it's a very, very important part of real estate investing. And speed to lead simply means this. No matter how it is you're generating your leads, no matter how it is that you're connecting to owners, when someone's hand goes up, it is critical you get to that person as quickly as possible. I'll give you a personal example, and this will hit home. So there's one of my partners, a super guy. He's actually been here in Atlanta, visited me, hung out at the lake house with me for a little while. And so what he's done recently is he's got into paying for his leads. By the way, if you can afford to pay for a motivated seller leads, that is the best kind of lead you could possibly get. And as a matter of fact, if anybody is interested in learning how I get my motivated seller leads, Kristen, put my phone number into chat, but you could just text me directly. So if you look at chat, my phone number is right in there. So if you're interested in knowing how I get my motivated seller leads, just text me the word leads, okay? You do have to be willing to spend some money, at least a couple thousand a month, but this is how I do most of my deals. I don't hide my suppliers. I don't get into that, but I don't mind sharing the source I use. But it does not matter how it is that you get your leads as a real estate investor. Speed to lead is absolutely critical. So let me go back to this example. One of my partners, you know, I'm working with him right now, you know, kind of helping him out. The team's being, you know, helping him out. And one of the things we've been talking to him about is this concept of speed to lead. Kind of like, hey, when a lead comes in, you got to get to it. 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 You got to get to it quickly. If you don't get to it quickly, its validity is going to go down. As a matter of fact, guys, check this out. This is going to blow your mind. Do you guys know they've done studies on leads and how quickly you get to them? And literally within the first 60 seconds, like not first week, not first couple days, not first a whole day, not even the first hour, literally the first 60 seconds in, if you don't get to your leads, like motivated seller leads, however you're generating them, the quality of that lead starts going down. So we're working with one of my partners. Again, I love this guy to pieces. We've become friends along the way. And in speed to lead, got it. And so he gets into the generating motivated seller leads. And I think he started like maybe even this Sunday. And so a lead comes into him Sunday morning, right? And it's both a phone number, name, and email. So he decides to email this lead back, and he wants to CC me on it. He carbon copies me on this email. I think he's just trying to keep me in a loop, trying to keep the team in a loop, right? Now remember, this is a 1 week of teaching and understanding speed to lead, speed to lead. Got to get to it quickly, got to get to it quickly, right? And so I see this email that he's sending on Sunday to this lead, and it says something like, hey, whatever, Bob, I see you're interested in possibly selling your home. And then he proceeds to tell this lead that just opted in, I know it's Sunday. I know you're busy. I know. He basically makes 10 excuses for this lead. And then he says, the last sentence on the email says, let me know if there's some time this week that's good to get together. Now, let's do a little interactive action. Anybody think that's a good response for a lead? Anybody think that's a bad response for a lead? Speak up. Gus, talk to me, my man. You're muted.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, it's too late. Got to get on it straight away.
Isn't that amazing? Like, we literally for a week straight, we've been talking about speed to lead, speed to lead. And he gets to this lead and he literally explains to this lead why Sunday's not a good time to talk. And he's talking on this, and here's the funny thing, Gus, he's talking on this lead's behalf. I know you're busy. I know it's Sunday. I know. And the lead opted in on Sunday.
Yeah.
And then he finishes off the whole thing. He finishes off the whole thing by literally saying, hey, if let me know sometime this week we can get on the call, and I want to help you out. You know, pretend you're going to a doctor and you got some kind of an urgent matter, and the doctor spends the first 5 minutes of the visit telling you why, well, listen, I know it's Friday afternoon. I know you don't want to be here. I know you got a long drive home. I know we could probably meet sometime next week. Let me know sometime next week is a good time to meet. Like, what are the chances you're coming back to this doctor, right? Let's say you go to a car mechanic and you want to drop off your car. And the car mechanic says, listen, I know it's Monday morning. I know you probably have a whole week's of work ahead of you. I know you got to drive your car back and forth. Bottom line is he spends whole 5 minutes giving you excuses why this is not a good time. And then he says, why don't you bring your car back sometime next week? And I want to see if I could help you out. How many people are coming back to that car mechanic? Guys, speed to lead simply means this. However you're generating leads, I don't care if it's direct mail. I don't care if it's web-based. I don't care if it's, networking, knocking on doors. When someone raises their hand that they want to talk to you, I tell people very simple, you got to prioritize that. You have to prioritize getting to leads literally within the first couple minutes. Now, look, I know what a lot of people think, well, that lead's not going anywhere. I mean, they're in trouble. They're motivated. Where are they going? They're going the exact same place you would go had you been in their position. And you have a problem. You try to get a hold of someone, and that person's not getting back to you. What are you going to do next? Anybody want to tell me what you're going to do next? Speak up. You're going to go to the next source, right? Mm-hmm. If you're getting it online, right? If you're getting it online, then you're just going to go to the next link, right? You're going to go to the next link to go to the next potential person that potentially could buy your house. I mean, think about it. If you're buying a car and you're calling a car dealership that may or may not have the car you want, and no one picks up and you have to leave a voicemail, are you going to wait for that are you going to wait for that person to call you back? No, absolutely not. What are you going to do, Juan?
Just talk to them and make sure that everything will work fine.
But if you're calling a car dealership and no one picks up, you get a voicemail, what are you going to do next?
I'm going to do next. I might go to the next dealership.
Absolutely. Guys, here's kind of how you got to think about this. One of the most precious things we as real estate investors have is we have leads. They're also sometimes the most expensive thing to generate. They don't come in quantity a lot of times. And we know almost always if we're discussing a lead, we're almost always discussing some kind of a motivation there, which makes it even more urgent and even more important that you get back with that lead because there's motivating factors involved there. And I guarantee you one thing, a motivated seller will always be even more motivated than they have to be, at least mentally. So they're making their situations even worse. Now, I understand it is not always possible to get to these leads right away. Give me some ideas what you could do to at least acknowledge that lead. Let's say you get a lead that comes in. Give me some ideas of what you could do to at least acknowledge that lead. Speak up, anybody?
Have a voicemail responder.
Have a voicemail responder. Now, what do you mean? When
Like an automated
there
message
you
that
go,
goes back
have
out.
some kind of a system that can get a hold of them,
Yeah.
an
Or
automatic
have-
voicemail drop or something. What else can you do?
Yeah, have someone answer the phone for you.
You could have somebody answer the phone for you. What else can you do? You could send that person a text message, right?
Yeah.
You could send that person an email. But I will tell you, even if you're busy, even if you could do a quick personal text or a quick phone number just to acknowledge them. Hey, Bob, I'm in receipt of your inquiry. I do understand you want to sell a house. I'm actually in the market right now, right around your area to find a deal or find a house. I know I could help you out. Stay tuned. I'll call you within and give them some kind of a specific time frame. The speed to lead is absolutely critical. Here's what I want you guys to ask yourself. How many people here are getting leads somehow? However you're getting them. Michael, how are you getting your leads? Talk to me, my man.
So right now I'm getting my leads through a Pop Stream and Flipster. I will generate leads to Pop Stream and Flipster. Then I will then I pay somebody to skip tracing for me. Then I actually have like my then from there I do my outreach, my AI outreach to reach out to different sellers and it's motivated sellers.
Okay. Now let's say one of these motivated sellers calls you back, leaves you a voicemail. Maybe you missed them somehow. Michael, I saw your whatever somewhere. I'm interested in selling a house. What happens next?
So if they're interested in selling a house, I'm gonna respond quickly as possible. I'm gonna set up a meeting within 24 hours. Then with also 24 hours, I'm gonna do my due diligence and send that seller an offer.
Speed to lead. You believe in it, don't you?
Yes, sir.
It works, guys. It doesn't matter, again, how you do it, but you got to get to whatever leads you're getting or however they're coming in, you got to get to them as quickly as possible. In extension with that, I want to teach another very important concept in real estate that's, if you utilize, is going to make you money. If you don't utilize it, it'll actually prevent you from making money. So we just talked about the speed to lead, right? The importance of getting to leads, motivated seller leads as quickly as possible, however they come in. Prop stream, someone calls you on a sign, you got some kind of a web-based system set up, right? The other thing that you have to understand all the way through the process of getting deals done is the concept of being proactive. Now, this is a very, very important concept. There's two ways to build the real estate business. There's what is known as the proactive and what is known as the reactive. The reactive is how most people who are trying to do real estate do it. Or when somebody gets a property under contract or they think they got a deal, we work in what we call the reactive mode. Reactive mode means this. Here's the 5 or 6 or 7 things that need to happen to close this deal. And I'm kind of sort of waiting for everybody to do their part. I'm doing my part. You know, my part may be whatever it is, maybe get the rehab bid, whatever, right? So I am doing my part, but I'm waiting for all the other pieces to fall together. I'll give you an example of that. You know, when I got started in real estate a couple decades ago, and I brought on my closer, Mary, who's still with me to this day, a couple times a week, I would literally sit down with Mary and I would go through all the files. And these are all the deals that we were doing. You know, when I was doing this real estate by myself, before I started partnering with people, I would be doing about 60 to 80 deals at a time, okay? And as I was doing these deals, the key is once we get them under contract, do everything you got to do to get them closed off. Basically, time is money. And in real estate, a lot of things can happen if you're just sitting on things, right? Sellers could change your mind, you know, buyers could get dissatisfied, whatever it is. So when I would sit down with Mary, we would go over every file. And the way we would do our files is that on the front cover of the file, there were, you know, here's the steps that need to take place to close this deal. And by the way, in real estate, sometimes those steps change from deal to deal. So we would make an actual to-do for every single deal that needed to be done. You know, what had to take place. And I taught Mary that, you know, it's kind of like this. This step says the seller, we're the buyer, the seller has to get to the closing attorney mortgage information, right? So a typical individual would just sit back and wait for the seller to get to the closing attorney that their mortgage statement. And what I did is I was always tell Mary, look, Mary, as much as a priority as this is for us to buy this deal, it is 100% not priority for the seller to sell that deal. Now, every once in a while, you get some very extremely savvy, motivated, detail-oriented, you know, admin type of people who help with this. But I could tell you guys, we've seen sellers in some really, really, really screwed up situations, like hugely motivated, timeline kind of motivated. And they're like lumps in the log, right? And some of you that have closed deals, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You would think like, wait a second, you're the seller, I'm the buyer. You want this closed, you need this closed. You have all the incentive in the world to get this thing done. And you ain't doing anything. And so the concept that we took on at our offices was very simple. We will always be the most motivated party on any deal, whether we're buying a house or selling a house. And part of being that motivated side, or part of being that motivated individual, is you absolutely have to drive the closing forward. So in the checklist, if the checklist said the seller needs to get the mortgage information to the closing attorney so they can get a payoff, guess what we always did? Mary knew that it is her responsibility to get a hold of the seller, to get that payoff information, and get it over to the closing attorney. That is what is called proactive in real estate investing. And I could tell you, now we're tying this to speed to lead. Speed, you start out the deal with the speed to lead. Speed to lead simply says this: hey, we got a deal, we got a lead, we got to get to it as quickly as possible, right? That's speed to lead. We've already established the importance of that, the timeliness of that, how you could utilize technology to make that happen. The next step is once that lead hopefully becomes a contract and a potential deal, you are now going away from speed to lead. You are now getting into what we call being proactive. Being proactive means you have to drive that deal forward. You have to do everything in your power to get that deal closed. Because I could tell you every deal has about 6, 7, or 8 steps that need to take place to close the deal off, right? It is your responsibility as, let's say, the buyer, to get all of those steps done. But you might say, well, Pete, this is seller needs to get this, seller needs to do this, appraiser needs to do this, inspector needs to do that. No. What you have to understand behind real estate is we are timing things. Like, we happen to time the buy of this house at a perfect time because we got a motivated seller. So we're always in the timing mode, which means we're never going to be the most important thing that anyone has in that deal other for us. We become the most important thing in that deal to both us and the opposing parties. So it all starts out with speed to lead. A lead comes in, however it comes in. It is our responsibility to get to it as quickly as possible. To, if nothing else, at least acknowledge that it's come in, acknowledge that I'm aware of it's come in, acknowledge that, yes, I am in the market, but most importantly, let the seller know I can help. Even if I can't continue this conversation for the next hour or so, I could help you. It's okay for you to stop looking. And by the way, that's a big piece. Some of you guys will be shocked to know how many deals that you have touched that end up getting closed, that somehow fell through your fingertips for whatever reason, or however that looked like. Maybe you weren't utilizing speed to lead. By the way, speed to lead works right up front, but being proactive in the market, being proactive in driving the deal forward starts working immediately afterwards. People think, well, I got to be proactive when I get a property under contract to get it to close. That's not true. You got to be proactive all the way through the negotiations process. You got to be proactive all the way through the due diligence process. You got to be proactive in getting the contract back. You guys, check this out. This is going to sound really strange to a lot of you guys. The ratio of people getting contracts out to getting contracts back is almost the same. What I mean by that, people think, well, the hardest part is just getting that contract out. You know, I finally got a deal, so let me get them a contract and I'll just sit here and I'll wait for that contract to come back. And my contention is very simple. If 1,000 contracts out go out a day, it would be an act of God to get 1,000 of them back. My point is this: chasing contracts out is just as critical, just as important, just as needed as getting them out. And what do you do to get contracts back? Again, you're in the exact same mode. You're in a proactive mode. You're in a proactive mode. Proactive mode means every time I'm talking to the seller, from the time I get the contract out, that, you know, I'm never going to get a contract out without having some kind of a conversation with the seller, right? And so, number one, I'm hoping I'm in person when that transaction happens, because if I'm in person, I am the most likely to get that contract back to me immediately. But if I'm not a person, when I'm getting my contract out, here's the conversation I would never have. Hey, I'm getting the contract out to you. Take a look at it. Get it back to me as soon as you can. That contract ain't never coming back. A, they don't have time to get to it. B, when they get to it, they'll get lost in the weeds immediately. And C, if they get any more motivation beyond that, you know what they're going to say? I'm going to have my attorney take a look at it. So it is absolutely critical. It is absolutely critical that when I'm trying to get my contracts back, again, the best way to get them back is be in a live environment, be with them. Because when you're with them in a live environment, you could talk them through anything. You can explain it in the different paragraphs, the different clauses, the terms, and all this. But if I'm, let's say, getting a contract out to somebody, let's say through the telephone, I don't hang up this phone until, you know what? Until I have an actual time set up with that seller when they can get to it, preferably while I'm still on the phone. I'll always try that. Hey, let me get this contract. I'm going to send it to you right now. I'm going to email it to you. While I got you on the phone, why don't you open it up? Let's review it. Let's see if you have any questions and get it signed, sealed, and delivered. But even if you or I can't do that, right? Even if you and I cannot do that, I will always set up a time to make sure that happens. So if I'm getting a contract out to a motivated seller, okay, if I'm getting a contract out to a motivated seller, I do not hang up the phone if I'm talking to them on the phone or however the transaction goes until I have a specific time to get that contract back. So guys, the topic today was very simple, but it's a very powerful one. And I could tell you in real estate, everything I see about this business, it always comes down to the same stuff. People not being brilliant on the basics. I wrote a book several years back, and that's what I called it, being brilliant at the basics. You don't got to be that great at real estate. You just got to be really, really good at the basics. And speed to lead and speed all the way through the process is one of those basics you got to get very, very good at. Now, I want to do two things. Number one, I want to talk to you guys about what you guys got going on. Because I know I'm of the wrong opinion, but I'm always of the opinion if somebody's listening in to real estate training, you got to want to build this business. If anyone's listening in this thing just to listen, oh my God, I think I'd rather jump off a cliff. Real estate ain't one of those crazy, sexy things to listen to. So I'm just assuming everybody's here serious. So I want to help you guys. Whoever needs my specific help, I want to talk to you about what you guys got going on. But before I do that, in a minute here, there's going to be inside chat a link. And that link is for those of you that are ready to do deals or doing deals and you want to get to the next level. I'm looking for partners across the United States to do deals with. I need help finding deals anywhere in the USA. So I don't care where you live. I want to do more deals in that area. Simple as that. So I need boots in the ground. I need people that are coachable, humble, and all about long-term success. In turn, what I do for my partners is we take you under my wings, and my wings are, 3,500 deals deep. So I got vast experience and vast knowledge. So number one, I coach and train you. Number two, I have a marketing team that'll help set up marketing systems for you. So motivated seller leads are coming in. Next, I have a back office team that'll handle everything for us. Inspections, appraisals, coordinate buyers, sellers, closings, contracts, everything. Next is huge. If we partner, I'm going to provide all the capital to do deals as much as we need. All of the money, by the way. Buy them, fix them, carry them, all this. I have a construction team that could be deployed all over the place if they need work and we need help fixing them. And then we just put them in the market and do a profit share in the back end. Simple as that. So we will train you, we'll support you, we'll provide you technology, I'll provide you money, help with lead gen, help with rehab, and do a profit share. For those of you that want to partner with me, I need help finding deals in your markets. There's a link inside chat right now. Hit that link and you'll be able to schedule a call with myself and my team. And at that point, we'll see if you're a good fit for us and we're a good fit for you. Literally in the next couple of days, we could start putting deals together. Easy peasy. All right. Let's get into some Q&A or just overall talk to me. Who's doing some stuff in real estate? I want to hear. This is a great way for you to individually learn, but I found no other better way for others to learn than to listen to people that are actually doing this and see how we can help you level up. Who's ready to share? William, what's going on?
Doing?
Talk to me. I hear you loud and clear.
Yeah, my name is William Artis. You know, I'm just a beginner in this real estate. I've been trying to wholesale some properties, and it's like I get stuck. I mean, I get all the information on the properties and everything, but when the numbers will be no good for the properties, and I got stuck right there.
Now,
You know
what does
I
that
mean?
mean, the numbers be? Are you talking to owners or are you talking to
Yeah,
other wholesalers?
yeah. I'll get far as getting all the information of the owners that owns the properties and all this other stuff. You know what I mean?
And then?
And when I get that information, I call the numbers. The numbers are no good to the person that I'm trying to call.
Oh, William, that happens to everybody in this business. That is across the board, the same. There's no perfect source. If there were,
I lost 2 properties that same way.
Well, you know how you overcome that? There's one thing you control when it comes to that. William's just saying, hey, it's hard to get off owners. You know how you overcome that, William?
How's that?
There's only one way to overcome that, and that is through numbers. So if I were to ask you the question, how many owners you try to get a hold of a day? Let's say you say I try to get a hold of 20. You know how you get past that?
How?
Got to get hold of 30 or 40. Numbers is the only thing that overcomes anything in this business.
Okay. I have a couple of friends that are realtors.
Yep.
And they told me that they'll give me all the information that I need, like stuff from the MLS and everything on whether it's land or properties. Would that be a good source of leads?
Are they going to get the information from MLS, or they want you to buy properties through them?
No, I can call them and ask them if you can send me a list of properties from the MLS or anything like that.
100% waste of time.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, there are some what I call unlegitimate sources to find deals. Mm-hmm. By the way, William, I've bought hundreds and hundreds of properties off of real estate agents off the MLS. Mm-hmm. Those days are done.
Is that right?
Gone, yeah. The good ones never hit the MLS. Mm-hmm. They're gone, 99% of them. Once the good ones hit the MLS, there's bots out there and robots that buy them within the first 5 seconds.
Yeah.
If they get past that, hedge funds buy them or retail buyers buy them, and they all can pay more than you and I can. Mm-hmm. And so by the time they go through all these hurdles, everything that's left over is a total waste of time. As a matter of fact, I tell people any longer, don't even chase after MLS properties. There's no deals on there. It's all amateur hour. Unless you're talking to some kind of an agent, a listing agent that'll speak too much, give you too much information. Like there's a deal we're doing in Chicago right now where the property was listed for $135,000. One of my partners called on it and the agent literally just barfed all over him. Said, hey, my seller is so motivated. If you make an offer of $70,000, they'll take it. So we went from 45 to 70. And by the way, William, now we're down to 40,000.
Are you kidding me?
Well, and you know why? It ain't because it was on MLS. It's because the agent gave us, spoke too much. So I always tell people, if you want to go after any deal on MLS, you got to go after it almost one by one. You got to connect with agents, and you hope to connect one of those agents that just talks too much. I mean, really, it's really what it comes down to. I hate to say it.
So how would we be able to become partners with you? I mean,
I just said that. Go to chat. Do you see chat at the bottom of your screen?
No.
On the Zoom call. Chat.
Why this is nothing but a bunch of pictures on my screens right now.
All right, Kristen, is there a way for you to get hold of William somehow? System.
Yep. I'll have Lawrence reach out to you right after this.
Someone's going to reach out to you from my team, and they'll tell you how you and I can start partnering, doing deals. And by the way, if you and I do partner, William, I'll show you how to do this the right way. I'll literally take you by the hand and walk you through it.
And I'm in Atlanta, Georgia, and there was so many properties out here.
You're absolutely right. And guess where I live? In Atlanta, Georgia.
Are you kidding me? I see you, Mike McGuire. I see you, Mike.
There's a reason for everything. But guys, this is like, you guys all know this. Reasons and potential are worthless unless we take advantage of them, right? So anyway, Lawrence, a team member of mine named Lawrence, super guy, has been with me forever. He's gonna touch base with you directly and he'll walk you through how you can start partnering with me, okay?
Okay, beautiful.
All right. Who else wants to talk about a little bit about what they're doing, what they got going on, maybe a question for me? I want to help. I want to help in the little time we have remaining. If anybody wants that, or it's okay if you don't. Anybody else wants to share what they're doing? Any question for me? Anything? Going
Hey
once?
Pete, do you do sub 2 deals as well?
Yes, I partner on subdue deals. So definitely set up and go in your chat, set up, hit that link and set up a meeting with us.
Okay, I want to do sub 2 because like that's a new strategy, but it is creative. So I want to try to get that under my belt.
It's a strong strategy. We could show you how to do it at the highest levels possible.
Is
Okay.
sub 2 apartment complexes?
No, sub 2 is just a strategy for buying real estate.
Oh, is that right? Okay.
Yeah, it could be done, William, on apartments, on houses, on land, on anything. It's just a strategy for taking down real estate where you literally take over underlying mortgage payments. But yes,
Are you? Do you sell land also? Because there was so
we
many
don't,
lots.
we don't get into land deals, but in Atlanta, you don't want to do land. We know how to do it. Just connect with Lawrence. He'll
Okay.
walk you through it and he'll get you connected with me.
Okay, beautiful,
Okay.
beautiful.
I like it. Any other questions for me? You want to share what you're doing, how you're doing it, how I can help you? Going once. Going twice. All right, guys, listen, our inaugural launch Wednesday, every Wednesday now at 6 p.m. Eastern, right here, same time, same place.
Gotcha.
I enjoyed it. We'll talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Thanks, Peter.